Once upon a time, the infamous rover Reynardo plundered the floating isles. Then his mother called him to her deathbed. "Swear to me that you won't die on the gallows," she rasped. Reluctantly, he swore. And he whiled away his days at home with music, cards, and wine. But the Emperor had changed. He'd been good once, a shy, almost humble toad. He'd built universities. Then people started whispering about mass graves in the woods, midnight rituals, victims screaming. The Imperial Ravens would round up entire villages, and no one ever returned. The Ravens had come to Ubar scouting for ancient books said to be of great power. But the librarians had hidden the books, so they'd burnt the librarians. The citizens, outraged, had driven them off. The Ravens had come back with dropships. The kid had fled with one of those books. He was brave and dumb and wanted to join the rebellion. And Reynardo had promised his mother he'd protect him. The kid was looking down, watching his city burn. "Sorry, kid," Reynardo told the kid. "Look, if we give them the book, they'll leave you alone."
"My mother died for this book!"
"I promised her I'd protect you." Oh, damn it. The kid had run off. With the book, of course. So Reynardo had to run after him. The two ravens were staring at the kid like he was their dinner, which probably was what was in their tiny brains. "Hey," Reynardo said. They cocked their heads at him. "Pick on someone as ugly as you." Wait, that didn't come out right.
"For the Emperor!"
The ravens cawed and rushed at him. A dropship flew overhead. He hoped they hadn't noticed him. The kid. Oh, right. The Gate of Heroes. Someone's idea of a joke, making the skyship docks a gated community. You needed a hero's sword to open it. And the kid was on the other side of the gate.
"Who let you through? Promise me you'll take the book to the rebels, or I'm gonna steal your ship."
"I'm not taking that damn book anywhere, and neither are you."
"Try and stop me," laughed the kid. "I bet you don't even have a hero sword."
And with that, the kid hopped away. Had to hand it to the kid. He was an idiot, but he had guts. Where was Renato going to get a hero sword? Ore and wind essence? That sounds about right. I'll need a workshop, though. Perfect. A hero sword. QED. This is what he got for settling down and finding people to care about. The kid's mum had been a swell cook, and she'd laughed at Renato's jokes, even when he didn't know who'd made one. And then the ravens had come to burn her. And she'd made him promise to protect the kid. But she never told him where the book was. Just the kid. He came up to a ledge. It was too far to jump. There'd been a bridge here before, hadn't there? And there was Peter, giggling at him. "How'd you get across?" he asked the kid. "Where'd you find a hook?" "I hopped," said the kid. White-ass kid. "Hey, look out behind you." "Cute," said Renato. Ah, ravens. It was time to talk some sense into the kid. Just hook his way across the ledge and chase the kid down. Thing was, he hadn't used his hook since he'd retired. How had he done it? Maybe if he meditated at that altar there, he'd remember his old skills. Starting to come back to him. Something you never completely forgot, like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember. There was the Farfarer. She was the fastest ship he'd ever known. She could do the Kestra run in 12 furlongs. Oh, so the salesman had told him. And something told him the kid was about to walk into an ambush. "Stop!" he shouted. "I'm not giving you the book!" shouted the kid, and took off. "No! Peter!" But the kid ran for it, and a goggler nailed him with its ivy. The book was unburned. Next to it were the buckles from the kid's shoes, and a kid-sized pile of ashes. Damn it. Why hadn't he lied and told the kid he'd take the book to the rebels? The kid would be alive now. Really pissed off and betrayed, but alive. Oh, damn it. Renato picked up the book. He couldn't let the Empire have it now. He was going to have to get it out of there. He'd be a wanted man. Probably have to join the rebellion just to have a place to dock. Well, he'd hated home life anyway. the big deal about this book anyway? Maybe he should open it and find out. All that had been years ago. How many? The war was a blur, and now 3 Raven scout ships were chasing him.
Where are you running, rebel?
Cawed the Raven captain over the loud hailer. Renato could see them cranking up their catapults.
Just going out for milk?
Renato yelled back.
Where can you run?
Laughed the Raven horribly. Far behind him, another city was burning. The dark cloud above its island was thousands of Imperial ships. The fleet was doing a thorough job.
Take us to the rebel base! I will spare your life!
It cawed. The entire jury-rigged rebel fleet was only a few islands to the east. Beyond that were only the pillars of heaven. A sea of endless blood-colored tornadoes. The rebellion was out of time. Unless Renato could bring a game-changer. Maybe he could. Renato had found out where he could find the pieces of the Sky Ripper, the legendary weapon that had exiled the lost gods. Surely a legendary weapon could win the final battle. On the other hand, his old friend Lapino had sent Renato a desperate message saying he had a brilliant scheme to save the rebellion. If Renato could only rescue him. Renato dived the Farfarer towards the abyss. As he felt the heat of the jet stream, the Raven ships peeled off, not stable enough to follow him down there. Now it was time to choose. Lapino or the Sky Ripper? Ah, Lapino. Apparently the Mad Rabbit had sold a Pegasus that he did not exactly own. Lapino always wiggled out of trouble, given time. But he was out of time. The Ravens had figured out that Lapino was a rebel spy. If the fleet reached him first, they'd string him up for that. Never mind the winged horse. Lapino had apparently managed to confuse the judge by arguing that he hadn't actually stolen the winged horse. He'd only sold it. But wait, where was the prison? The village was empty. Had everybody fled the Ravens? Renato's blood was up. He just needed to smash something. You couldn't find high-quality ore like this just anywhere. Just anywhere with chests. People were frightened these days. Just 2 weeks past, Reynardo had sneaked through an empty town and listened to the ravens caw about the Emperor's new taste in ritual sacrifice. He wasn't that good. Yet.
You shall not pass!
Ravens were landing everywhere. The advance guard. He'd better get moving. If they got to Lupino first, they'd eat him for breakfast. Or a snack. Ravens weren't picky. If they got hungry, they sometimes forgot to interrogate their prisoners. Even top spies like Lupino. Where had the mad rabbit got to? learned so much about. Ooh, what was it again? Dirty and bloody, Renato finally reached Lapino. The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Renato recognized the cards. It was Lapino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing. Right, yeah, we see this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows, and that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who also happened to be a deadly sorcerer and, oh, his only daughter? That would be worth it. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power. Zenobia wasn't just the Emperor's daughter, of course. She'd been Renato's best friend in Sword Fu school. And you're still mad for her, the rabbit reminded him. They'd been close. She'd told him things no one else knew. But she'd never told him who she really was. She knows all the Emperor's plans, chuckled the master spy. She won't give them up easily. She'll tell the interrogators, all right, said Lapino. Taking her would change the game, all right. The city was already under Zenobia's control. I had to admire her efficiency. Renato shivered at the thought of Zenobia at the mercy of the interrogators. Could he really turn her over to them? But this was war. It wasn't meant to be pretty.
Can't we just agree to disagree? Said Renato. No?
This chest was really horrible. Get it?
Huh? A lever? That was new. Most people still use doorknobs.
So, what's this plan of yours?
Use me as bait, said Lupino. And he outlined a slightly complicated plan that involved geese, a net, setting the Farfarer a little bit on fire, Lupino dressing as an old blind toad, and Reynardo hiding inside a monstrous watermelon.
What could possibly go wrong? Thought Reynardo. Oh, this is going to be fun, said Lupino, as he ran to go set up his marvelous plan.
If I craft a sword now, it's going to be really short. Reynardo felt like he was ready to learn new things. Thank goodness he didn't have to go to school for that.
It was starting to come back to him. Something you never completely forgot, like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember. It was good to practice your moves, thought Reynardo. Keeps you limber. Reynardo felt dubious about the whole plan. With every step, he was waiting for it all to go horribly wrong. But against all odds, Lupino's idiotic plan worked. Zenobia's ravens ran off after the geese, the net dropped, and Reynardo jumped out of the watermelon and put his sword to Zenobia's throat.
Reynardo, she said, are those new scars? They look good on you. You never returned my velvet jacket. It was my favorite. You look stupid in velvet. Oh, what does an imperial princess know about style? Oh, get a room, you two, said Lupino.
But the fleet was coming on fast, so they put Zenobia on the Farfarer and took her east over the Nexus.
She'd vanished from Swordfu School, from his life, without even saying goodbye. Without ever telling him she was the Emperor's adopted daughter. Ah, Lapina was right, Renato thought reluctantly. She knows things. She recognized his look. You're taking me to the interrogators, aren't you? She said, wide-eyed. And then she jumped, with horror. Renato saw Zenobia plummeting. Then he saw the Nexus below them. Cats always land on their feet.
Ah, she'll head for the Imperial outpost,
yelled Lapino.
You have to catch her.
Cats can run faster, but foxes can run longer. If he ran, he could head her off before she reached her minions at the outpost. Well, he did love a good chase.
It wasn't his fault. They looked so breakable.
Good thing Renato didn't have vertigo.
Who needed bridges anyway?
He was closing on her. He could smell her fear. He tried not to think about the interrogators at the secret base. What did they do to her? Maybe it didn't have to end that way. Maybe he could talk to her. But, after all, there were worse things the Imperials had done to friends of his. A crafting bench. Renato wondered what he could make with it. Renato reached the outpost. The Imperials there were no match for him. Soon after, Zenobia limped up the path. When she realized he was already in front of her, she didn't even try to run. Oh, you left without saying goodbye. Again, he said, please. You're enjoying this a little too much. She said, shaken. Oh, spare us the chit-chat, would you? Said Lapino as he shackled her hands so she couldn't throw spells. She knows all his plans. All the way back to the Farfarer, Lapino nagged Renato about how the interrogators would pry all the intel out of Zenobia. How that would turn the tides in the imminent battle. All they had to do was take her to the rebels' secret base. Renato didn't like to think about what the interrogators would do to her. Couldn't he just talk to her? As they pulled away from the Nexus, Renato could see the fear in Zenobia's eyes. I can't take her to those creatures at the base, he whispered to Lapino. Ah, you've gone soft. Soft in the head. We captured her for what she knows. I'll take her to the mountains. Tell all the horrible things the Emperor's done. Yeah, believe me, she'll turn. And he turned the wheel. The hell you will, shouted Lapino, and he grabbed the wheel back from him. The two of them wrestled for control of the ship. It shot off like a mad sparrow. Suddenly, Renato was falling. When he came to, Zenobia was standing over him. "Why didn't you take me to the base to be interrogated?" she demanded. "Do you know what's left of people they interrogate? This is some trick, isn't it? To make me fall for you again. Well, I won't. Oh, go on then. Scurry back to your ravens. I can't stop you." But strangely, she didn't. As Renato set off to find the Farfarer, she followed him, keeping just out of sight of the ravens. What were these poles exactly? Parking meters from the time of the lost gods? When Renato went to the china shop, for some reason the owner was always nervous. Renato felt a little better. The platform used a hybrid propulsion system fueled by anti-gravity and wishful thinking. As Renato stopped to sniff the wind, Zenobia came up, still mad. Did you really think you'd just talk me into betraying my father? Oh yeah, sure, that was exactly my plan. Then why aren't you even talking to me? Because I've never talked you into anything in my life. They're gonna court-martial you for letting me go. He caught a whiff of the Farfarer. Wet rope, tar, and a cask of Scoville ale he'd spilt last year. It was that way. Renato's paws were getting numb. Calaveras really didn't want company, did he? Renato wondered if he should have taken Zenobia to the rebel base for real. Maybe she wasn't playing him after all. After the bleak talk about the Emperor's dark secrets, he was regretting his suspicions. Sure enough, the Farfarer had crashed in some rocks. There was no sign of Lupino. Zenobia caught up. All that kid stuff in Swordfu School. Look, that's the past. We're adults now. We have duties to other people. We have destinies. What are you talking about? And you are the most arrogant, slow-witted, light-fingered, mercenary, immoral, reckless... Run away with me, said Renato, and he realized he meant it. What? Just like that? She demanded. I will, if you will. So she kissed him. And it was the best kiss he'd ever had. They held hands as they boarded the Farfarer. Renato felt light-hearted, like the winds that were playing the rigging like a balalaika. But Lupino... I need to get back to Lupino, he said, suddenly realizing he could have been captured. A prisoner. He's not. How'd you know? He saw something in her eyes he didn't understand. He fell, didn't he? Into the abyss. She looked away, wouldn't answer. But then a bolt smashed through the Farfarer's keel. The broken ship plummeted out of the clouds. Renato picked himself off the deck. They were alive. We have to get to my private ship, she said. Do you trust me? I guess I must, he said. You go on ahead. Clear the path, she said. I can't kill my own soldiers. He wanted to say that he didn't trust her, but he had no idea what he was getting into. He had no choice, did he? He was following his heart. That's what it means to be a hero.
You had to follow your heart.
He'd missed his old skills. He welcomed them back like he was at a reunion. The portal was heavily guarded. It must go someplace they really didn't want him to go. Somebody had been watching. There was an inscription, no spitting. Already Renato knew more than he ever had. But about what?
lost their breath. It was strange to be so close to her. "What are you thinking?" he asked. "I'm trying very hard not to think." "Me too," he said. Up ahead, he could see the thin silver of Zenobia's personal ship. It looked fast. They would leave all this behind.
Everything hurt. And then it didn't.
With the new aerobics craze. Am I right?
There was a sign. Take the goat across first.
As they reached her ship, Renato suddenly felt a sharp pain in his stomach. He was surprised to see a crossbow bolt sticking out of it.
I was going to lead the Empire to a secret base,
Said Lapino.
but no, you had to screw up my plan because you still got a thing for her.
Renato stared at Zenobia. The kiss. Was it real? She said, with a look of indescribable sorrow. She gestured and said an arcane word, and Lapino went flying into the abyss, screaming, "I'm telling your father!" Then she knelt down to cradle his head, and her paws felt very soft and warm.
Okay, that was weird. He could have sworn he just died. Instead, he was on the Farfarer, sailing away from Ubar. And it was still burning. He'd fled burning Ubar years ago, hadn't he? And now he was back there. Had all those years fighting the Empire been nothing but a vision into the future? A useful vision if it was true. He'd learned something. Lapino was a traitor. Renato had suspected there was something wrong with the Mad Rabbit, but now he knew there was malice behind his goofiness. He'd made bad choices. But now, when the real battle came, he wouldn't make those choices. He wouldn't make the same mistake twice. The book's pages began to flip backwards, towards the beginning. And he realized that his adventure was just beginning. The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game-changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced, or so a scholar in the mountains had told him. Surely the weapon that banished the lost gods could defeat the Emperor. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Emperor had brought the Sky Ripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Renato. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens? The island was windswept desert. No one went there except ostriches and ostrich hunters. The Iblis stone. It sounded ominous. It sounded powerful. If the Emperor was searching for it, it must be dangerous. And so, Renato went ostrich hunting. Every child could sing verses about the Sky Ripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls, a ruby that drank blood, a jewel only a righteous man could give away. Were all these things the Iblis stone? Long hidden in a buried temple,
Another ancient item that was only resurfacing now. Drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals.
As I'm guessing you can already tell, this game has many twists. It's a lot different from the games I usually play, but I started this game a while ago, deleted it, re-downloaded it, and decided to play it. I won't talk too much because the reason I haven't really been on mic is because my allergies have been kicking me in my face. So I'm sure you don't look at my channel to hear me sneeze over and over and over again. But yeah, I decided to play something different. I mean, I'm always playing Destiny and Division, and I want to play Bloodborne, as I've been having that game for quite some time.
Were too tall for a person.
A little difficult to get to a certain part and then die and have to start all the way from the beginning again. But I'm guessing I'll eventually find other people to play with. Not sure if it's multiplayer, but if it is, this should be lit. I don't even know if I want to come this way. Try to find all these chests. I don't know, with this character I'm still trying to figure out which skill I'm gonna go for. If I'm gonna go more towards health, because it is that type of game. Like you can, I'm noticing you can build your character just pure strength and you know, attack power, or you can make him basically full of health. Which in this game you'll notice it doesn't take that much. I mean, well, I can't say it doesn't take that much, but you can die really easy, especially when you're dealing with the bosses. So I don't know if I'm gonna go more into health or striking power. I'm guessing striking power, because this game does have like different moves you can go with. Well, I'm not gonna talk too much because, like I said, my nose is still on the fritz.
Word for a lot of ravens, like a keepers of ravens.
These guys with the shield, sometimes they can, yeah, see, they can be hard. To get by that shield, I need to open up the second level. See, getting by that shield is like nearly impossible. And if you don't kill them fast, you'll be fighting for quite some time.
Cawing in frustration.
As long as they're still alive, the crows will continue to keep coming.
Good. Then he hadn't come too late.
I know some people are probably going to be like, why is this guy playing this game?
Bernardo, smash!
Well, I actually enjoy it. Something different. That's what I need. See, I need offense and I need defense, you know? I like defense a lot, you know, especially in this game, because to counteract something, but offense, like, I need that too, so it's good to rip that shield away on one guy, because as time goes on, I'm going to be fighting more and more guys like that. The first time I played this game, it seemed like that's all I was running into were guys with the shields, but I guess that's the way the game is made up.
Every day he was getting better and better.
Okay. I still haven't figured out the skill set. Like, you know, like when you play other games of this nature, you know, they come with skill sets and skill set points, I guess. Like, and you can only unlock so many things at a time. And if you spend too much on one particular area, like you might alienate yourself from the other. Like, as far as like if you're building your character more towards defense or more towards offense or just brute force, you know, health-wise, survivability. So yeah, there's something I have to figure out. But I mean, like on Neverwinter, as long as you got certain things, you can go back and change skill sets to build your character the way you want to. I need to get this shield guy.
Can I borrow that?
Yeah. See, I should have counteracted him, but yeah. Sorry, guys. I think once I unlock like all my skill sets, like you could probably do some like little sweet moves with this guy. I love shooting games. I love games with swords.
Hero wall, hero sword, ice wall, ice cube. Oh.
I thought I crafted that sword. It's funny, somebody had asked me, like, why do I stream live when not that many people visit?
His own shape, wasn't he?
But I mean, if you did it just because you wanted people, well, as far as like fans, you're doing it for the wrong reason. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I would love to build my audience base. I mean, because as of right now, I really don't have too many people that watch. I mean, people visit the channel, but I mean, getting likes and things of that nature is kind of like, yeah, far in between. But it's like I said, if you do it just for that, it's like I was watching this one girl on YouTube, and she was talking about how if you come on YouTube basically to get money, you're doing it for the wrong reason. If you're thinking that you're gonna get money like right away, and it's not to say that you won't get money.
Oh, sweet.
It's saying that, you know,
all he needed now was a workbench, and
it may not come as quick as you want it to. So, you know, you got to be prepared for that. But me, I do it just because I like the audience, you know. I like people that play games. I like games, period. I'm a gamer, so, you know, what else can I say? But yeah, don't get me wrong, like I would love to have thousands and thousands and thousands of fans, but even if I stay at 53, which, you know, my goal is to hit 60, you know, and then from 60 we'll see if it goes up, you know.
And hidden it from his enemy.
But yeah, I would love to be able to turn on the channel and go live and then see like a lot of people there watching. But I mean, sometimes you gotta be realistic. It's like, you know, there's other YouTubers out there that are pretty much doing the same thing, maybe even better. But I'm not mad at them. Hopefully my fans or my subscribers will be as loyal as them. Because I really do like playing games and letting people watch how either
how we do it, said Renato to himself.
Do good or I fail. But at the end of the day, see, I could have waited right there. But at the end of the day, you know, as long as one person beside myself enjoys it, like I'm fine with that, you know. But I know it's gonna take some time to build up, you know, my fans.
The Ravens at least could not get past this point.
So until then, I follow the people's channels, you know.
Deal with Tomb Raiders.
See what they're doing that I'm not, you know. Maybe I'll pick up a few pointers. Because there's always going to be something that somebody does better than you. Like, I'm not one to get on here and give you statistics on a game, and I can break down theory crafting and things of that nature, but it's a lot of math involved, and though I'm alright in math, it's like there's other channels that they particularly
it was a bit windy up here.
Focus on that area of gaming. Me, I just focus on gaming. Like, if you see me gaming and, you know, I'm doing good, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm the best player. It just means that I just, you know, I've either been playing the game for quite some time or, you know, I just got it. Doesn't mean I always do good at it.
This couldn't be good for global warming.
I tend to rush into a lot of things. It's just my nature, you know. I play recklessly. Some people play with more caution, some people play with more stealth. And I applaud those gamers.
It was a
I play with brute force
of the purest blackness.
and
It
try to
reflected no light.
play with showmanship,
Like a
you know.
void made solid.
Try to make every move seem
Nervous.
smooth, not so
Picked it up.
stiff.
Who said that?
Basically finesse. I try to play with finesse. Sometimes you can't finesse
It was a
everything. You
stone.
gotta really
Eager.
just
Thirsty.
go at it and beat them into submission.
That
But this game right here, I
seems
noticed
tempting
its
and
choices.
terribly wrong.
It kind of reminds me of
Zenobia was
Zelda
the
back in the
Emperor's
day.
greatest general
Like,
and a potent witch.
I forgot
But they
exactly
had been
which
close
Zelda it was,
once.
but
And
if you
Renato
made the wrong
wasn't sure
mistake,
he
like
really
or Mario
wanted to be
Brothers, you would
emperor.
start all
Why
over.
not capture
You
the
would go
core
through the
of
story,
Skyripper instead?
but if you made
It
the
was
wrong
eye of the
decision on
lost
one
god,
point,
torn out by the transcendent emperor
basically,
to power his greatest weapon.
you went in a whole different direction than the way you were supposed to
Said
go.
the
It's always
stone
like trying to
anxiously.
figure something out. Well, this game is the same. Like, it's one of those games, depending upon your choice, will determine your outcome at the end. Like, you're either gonna destroy something, somebody's gonna die, and if you save the day, somebody else loses. It's like one of those games like The Walking Dead. You know, it's like he asks you a question, you answer in the wrong way, and he's like, oh, well, he's gonna remember that later. Like, yeah, that's basically what this game is like that too.
Was he listening to a talking rock? Ah, but the rock had a point. If the stone could truly turn him into a powerful warrior, he could defeat the Emperor with the very weapon the wicked old Toad had sought for himself. To be a hero, you had to sacrifice old friends sometimes, especially when they've become enemies.
Told you. This game has its twist. I'll probably go play this game until like the first story's done and then rest a little bit and then get back on it and probably go into some Destiny gameplay or whatever. Maybe a little Division. It depends. I was in the
As he
Crucibles last
placed the
night
impossibly
doing my
black
thing, but
crystal in his gauntlet,
of course there was a couple of salty cats on there. Teabagged me, I teabagged them back.
Dead ravens
They
below
sent
a
me
black
messages.
sun. Was it the time of the lost gods before the transcendent
Noob.
emperor? Was it the future? It whispered.
I don't do meta.
He could feel the stone's hunger for souls, its thirst for blood. All right, I get it. This was going to be interesting.
So how do you guys feel about the new games coming out? What is that one called? Zero Horizon? It looks pretty cool. It's like one of those open world games, you know? I like them, but sometimes I tend to avoid them because, I mean, I like games that they're long, but I tend to stray away from games that are too long. It's like the ones that you seem to be playing for like a few years in order to get to a certain point. Yeah, I tend to avoid those. But I also don't like the games that end, like you play it 10 hours and it's over. The main story, everything is done. Like, I really don't like them games either. So, I guess if I do get that game, which I assume I will, first, what I like to do is go rent it. I like to rent games. I never used to do it before. I used to buy games and then never get a chance to finish them. It's like Diablo. I had that game for so long and played it a little bit, built one of my characters up in the first part of the story, defeated one of the bosses, and then pretty much that was it. And I'm not saying that the game is not good, because actually it is, but it's just, you know, it was so time consuming. I got bored of it. And at that time I really wasn't up on the fact that it was multiplayer. I like games where you can do co-op. I like shooters. I like games like this where you can figure out strats and do your opponent.
The Ravens on Zenobia's island were no match for Reynardo.
I mean, it's like Dark Souls. You know, when you battle another enemy, it's like you're moving around. It's like every YouTuber I know that I've watched play Dark Souls, you know, some of them are like they have some moves that are all right, and then you watch another one and his moves are like smooth, finessing everything, like real strat. Like that's how I try to play, to move around the enemy, counteract his attack, you know. If he moves this way, I move this way, try to get around him, strike, you know, just to make it, you know, you want to make your gameplay seem as efficient as possible, you know. And there's just something about going into a battle knowing that you know exactly what to do and you're going to make it look good while you're doing it. And that's all I try to play like.
Firewalls only let you through if they think you're hot enough.
Oh yeah, I'm hot. Open sesame. Yeah, but that's how I like to play games. I like to make it look easy, even though a lot of times it's not. And though some gamers are just really good at it, you know. One day, oh God, see, there I go. Oh, he walked through the flames. Yeah, other people are really good at it, you know. I'm trying to get to that level to where
Reynardo couldn't wait to find a workbench.
Where my gaming is just at that point to where I can pretty much go into. There ain't too many games that I can't beat. So I won't say that. Like I know for a fact that I'm a good gamer. There's some games that might take a little longer. It's like when I play Titanfall. Like I could have did as everybody else did and, you know, start off normal, but no, I went to master. You know, it's how I like to play now. It's like instead of putting games on regular and this and that. I mean, when I go on Call of Duty, don't get me wrong, when I put it on a certain level and I get beat the hell up, you know. But I play, you know, I play to like learn, to adapt, to be able to switch up and do new things. Doesn't always work, but eventually I do beat the game. Hold on, I could have swore I had another stone. I thought I had 2 stones. Whatever. Yeah, there's still things about this game too that I haven't quite figured out, but I'm sure eventually it will come to me. I don't know which way I was going. But yeah. With any YouTuber, I mean, it's like you really want to put on a show for your audience. That's all I try to do. Whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4 people watching, or even nobody watching, maybe somebody eventually will look at this game and see that they like my content, and then, you know, subscribe and maybe give me suggestions on what they would like to see in the next game.
She needed her wits. Reynardo pitied whoever she was
I guess that's all any YouTuber could really hope for, you know. And I'm always up for suggestions, you know. I'm always open to suggestions. When I first got on this game, there's a few people, well, like at least one in particular that really told me a few things to do, and because I followed that advice, I actually got more subscribers. Quite a few at that. Wow. Yeah, he owed me for that because he burnt me.
It was definitely easier to fight inanimate objects.
I wonder how long this game really is, like, because it's like I completed the main story, but I still have yet to know how long this story really is.
Zenobia was waiting for Renato. She was alone, confident as always. Fire danced at the tips of her claws.
Are you here to surrender?
She seemed as cocksure as he felt. But she didn't know he had the stone. And I've missed you too, love. He chuckled. She spotted the stone and bolted without another word. Hey, a workbench. He could try out his new bling.
That's what I like to hear. Can I build this sword yet? I'm broke. Skill set.
This was way better than being able to shrink down to the size of an ant. What was that all about, anyway?
Oh, he's a beast. Did he just sheath his sword? Like, this guy's a monster. I think he took a walk on the dark side.
Finally, Renato caught up to her. He had never seen her scared before. At school, she'd been the determined, brave one. Now her eyes were wide, frightened. He didn't like seeing her this way. "Kill her," whispered the stone. "You cannot win your rebellion without it." "Please." "No," said Zenobia. "Not that way." Oh, they had been so close once. Could he really feed her soul to his demonic gem? But if he spared her, he would not get the full power of the stone. Oh, how could he be the hero he wanted to be? With a flick of his wrist, he slashed Zenobia's throat. Her eyes widened even more. And then the light went out again. Renato felt amazing.
He just went down a dark path.
Like water from a burst dam.
Oh my God, I already know there's probably a few people gonna be like, "Why'd you kill her? Why? No.
Exulted
No." She had to go though. Like, why'd you kill her? No, you could have spared her. She's your friend.
And set a course for the
Like, look.
Nexus. The Empire had a
This game is no
communication
friend.
outpost there. He could call the Emperor directly.
It was time to seize the outpost and let the Emperor know what he had done.
It's about to get crazy. In truth, I don't even know why I went that route, but yeah. What could I do? She was pushing me. You know how I end my videos. Welcome to the dark side.
The Nexus was beautiful.
Welcome to the dark side.
He'd never realized how beautiful. Everything glowed. The wind was so sweet. The sun so soft. The stones so warm. The black raven feathers. Black feathers. Suddenly, his eyes are filled with them. He's falling through smoke, under a dead sun. A voice calls him home. Is this a vision? Whose? Is this the time of the lost gods? Or the future? No matter. What mattered now was killing his way to the Imperial outpost and challenging the Emperor from there.
Oh. Woo! Screenshot it.
A very clever engineer named Elon Muskrat had got his start making floating platforms. Not many people knew that. Something useful in these things, didn't there?
Let me see if I can open another skill. Not yet. Oh, dude, it's so far, I can fit it in my controller. Did you hit me?
Renato wondered idly if people who had built these poles had really, really long tentacles. Up ahead was Lapino. What was he doing here? Bernardo! Hey, buddy! Hey there, old buddy! Please don't kill me!
Kill him.
Why would I kill you? Asked Bernardo, although he had been thinking about it. Well, you've become... no, I mean, no disrespect at all here. Kind of evil? Maybe you should, I don't know, go to the mountains to have a think? See if maybe you're sure the stone is not all that healthy a thing to keep? I suppose you wanted, Renato said, and poked Lapino in the chest for emphasis. Oh, had he just killed Lapino? Oh, damn it. Go to the outpost, use their far speaker, tell the Emperor what he'd done, and then he'd go to the secret rebel base. Let them know he was ready to lead them to victory. Renato rampaged through the Imperial outpost like a water buffalo rampaging. At the last moment, he remembered not to kill the far speaker toad. After all, he wanted a word with the Emperor. But there was only silence. The Emperor was scared, like little girl. Well, he would gather the rebel army and slaughter the Imperial fleet. Applauded the Iblistone. Tremendous. Then the Emperor would have to answer his far speaker, wouldn't he? Who are you? Asked a distant voice that sounded uncomfortably like Zenobia. What have you become? The mountains. Go to the mountains, urged another that sounded a bit like Lapino. Called the rebel council to let them know to gather their forces. Then he killed the far speaker toad. Why? Oh, because to make sure his sword was sharp. Oh no, that's awful. So no one else could use it. Yes, that's it. Then he set off for the ruins and the secret rebel base.
Already bad. Might as well continue.
The ruins were crawling with ravens. Probably looking for the secret base, Renato thought. But then he realized they're probably looking for me. They must be very scared of me. Well, here I am. You are the honest. whispered the Iblisstone. And he had to agree with it, for once. Who was as good as Reynardo? If they didn't want their things broken, they really ought to make them stronger. These platforms were great. Reynardo wanted one for his house. This sword from the frigid north was really useful for making popsicles and birdicles.
He wished there were more pylons he could use the hook on. He really needed to construct additional pylons. Urged the stone. Let me make you Emperor. Come to think of it, Reynardo thought as he put down another raven, why shouldn't I be Emperor? How did anybody get to be Emperor anyway? By making war. Oh, I mean, not counting the transcendent Emperor, obviously, who had banished the lost gods and started time. Yes, he should be Emperor. He would make a great Emperor. Right, Stone? Oh, right, boss.
Didn't your mother tell you it's rude to stare? Snapped Reynardo, a little smug. long stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good.
Could have swore I just saw a chest.
Ooh, what's there?
Let's go.
Renato strode into the council. Let's do this thing. Let's make me emperor. They looked confused and nervous. Ah, had he mentioned the emperor thing? Yeah, he meant to bring that up later. I mean, let's go win this rebellion. He waved his sword around encouragingly. They ran. Cowards. He'd stop them. He cut down a few to inspire the others. But soon, there was no one to cut down. Well then, he had to attack the fleet alone. More for me, he said. Unless it was the stone that said it. Traitors. Traitors, all of them. They'd run rather than following him, rather than cheering him. What should he do to the cowards? Anything he wanted to. After all, he was a true hero, the best warrior there ever was. No one could stop him now. But first, finish him. The Emperor, that is. Where was the rebel fleet? They weren't even trying an assault. They were going to miss a day in history. The downfall of this dynasty, and a new one to take its place. He didn't have to kill all the ravens. He could enslave them. And enslave the toads, too. All the animals would worship him as a god. For he had once been a god. They would willingly give him their blood and their souls. And the world would change. Would become familiar again. Haven't you always wanted to do that?
Say hi to gravity for me. He felt like Tarzan.
There was an inscription on the platform. Balaleka lessons, with an address.
Renato checked to make sure his sword was still working.
Renato was glowing with dark power. Already the sun had dimmed. He could do anything, he realized. He could wrap the island safely in smoke again. He was beyond a hero. He was going to become a god again. How odd, he thought, that the Iblis Stone had nothing to say about any of this. Well, no matter. Once he killed this petty toad emperor, he would bring back the Black Sun. Landed a claw on him.
Soon he'd confront the Emperor. Funny that this whole war had come about because the Emperor feared death. And now it was coming for him. There was some sort of lesson there, wasn't there? He found the Emperor and the Council huddling by his ship, plotting. They saw him and cowered before him.
Back to hell, fiend,
Croaked the Emperor desperately.
In the name of the Transcendent Emperor,
Croaked the Speaker. They held some arcane items he didn't recognize. He simply flexed his will and sucked their souls out of their bodies. And Iblis exulted. It is finished. And the void that had been a mere stone on a sword expanded. It stretched and ripped like a vast womb. And a gaze black and pitiless as the sun passed through the void into the land. And so time ended. Reynardo stared at the book. He was still alive. Again. And still only flying away from burning Ubar. Had he lived that adventure? Or only dreamt it? Had he really died? It felt so real, not like a dream at all. And he'd lost again. Oh, he hated that. But he had made different choices. And he'd lost in a different way. It was the book, wasn't it? Oracles showed you your destiny. But this was showing him different ways he could die miserably. Thanks a bunch, book, he thought. But these were destinies that he did not have to fulfill. But he'd learn another true thing. The Iblis Stone was evil. It would try to corrupt anyone who used it. But that meant there must be a destiny where he survived and won, right? Otherwise, what was the point? And with that, the book's pages fluttered back once more to the beginning, and the clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game-changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Or so a scholar in the mountains had told him. Surely the weapon that banished the lost gods could defeat the Emperor. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis Stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it. To take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course. Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens? The island was windswept desert. No one went there except ostriches and ostrich hunters. The Iblis Stone. It would whisper promises in his ear, offer him power for blood. But this time, Bernardo was sure he could master it. And so, Bernardo went ostrich hunting.
Well, as Moth the God, of course I'm gonna go down the dark path again. But I guess I'll just stop it there. I don't know how long this stream has been, but I'm assuming it's been quite some time.
Every
but
child could sing verses about the Sky Ripper.
I guess I'll end it here and probably stream later
other things.
another game. But until then,
A ruby that drank
this is
blood.
Moth the God signing
A
off,
jewel only a righteous man could give away.
and I will
Were
see you
all
on the
these
dark
things
side.
The Iblis Stone.
Oh,
Long hidden
don't
in the very
forget,
temple.
subscribe, like,
Another
comment.
ancient item that was
Let me know
only
if
resurfacing
you guys
now.
want to see more of this
Drawn up
gameplay,
from
or
the
if there's any
deeps by the
particular
Emperor's
game you'd like to
horrific
see me
rituals.
play, or if you just like to disagree with me, whatever. But like I said, it's your choice. But yeah, like I said, it's easy. Just hit like, subscribe, and then comment on what you'd like to see, and if you thought this game was worth broadcasting. And I will end on that note. Like I said, I will see you on the dark side. Moth the God out.